store, it's a big deal. It's a big deal to be unable um, to be like normal people. I mean, just it's embarrassing, and you feel like. Can you lift that up, please? You feel like you're different, like like you're not a normal person, and it's a shame, and you don't have to feel that way. And I just want you to know that it's there. There is an option. There is a way for you to look and feel better. There is a way to be able to go to normal stores and fit into their mold. So we can create that. I can literally carve out the body to fit into that mold. So you can be normal. If you've lived your whole life, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, um, you know, maybe you were thinner in high school, and when you got to college, you gained, the freshman 15 or 20 or 30 pounds, and you've never lost weight since then. Maybe you had a few kids, and after your kids, you've never been able to regain that body back, and it's been restricting and limiting to you your entire life. We can fix that. So being able to buy clothes again, that's a major benefit. What else do people complain about? What else are their concerns? Uh, People are concerned about hygiene, especially larger individuals, especially the ones that have, folds in weird places, larger folds. As you get bigger, you can't reach certain parts of your body. So it's difficult to be able to, reach your back or reach your sides, or, some individuals, the belly's folding over so far they can't even see the genitals. They have hygiene issues. On the folds of the skin, you have moisture problems, and the moisture problems lead to yeast infections, rashes, skin irritations. I mean, these are real problems for people, serious problems for people. And they might sound like a skin rash is no big deal, but a skin rash that never heals, it's painful with every movement. Every time you move your skin, every time you lift up, you try and wash, it's painful. It's irritating. It itches. You get infections from this. I mean, this is a real problem for people, and it's common, a lot more common than you think. So these individuals that have those skin folds, the skin tears. It gets You get weakness at the fold itself. So you'll have actually cuts right at the fold, and those cuts can become infected or irritated or painful. These are issues. These are real issues for people, especially larger individuals. Mobility is another big concern, and you don't have to be huge for mobility to be a problem either. I know that I've lost 40 pounds in the past 4 or 5 years. My height, I was 215 pounds, and I'm down to about 175, 180 right now. So I know just in that change, that 35, 40 pounds, it's made a huge dramatic difference to me for mobility purposes. So, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like just leaning forward to touch your toes, tie your shoes. To have to hold your breath to tie your shoes, like that freaking sucks. That sucks. And I wasn't even that big, and I struggled with that. So those individuals that are much larger, have that belly in front of them. I know how difficult it is to move. It's the simple things like getting dressed, simple things like reaching across your shoulder, trying to put your clothes on, trying to tie your shoes. And this is a daily occurrence every single day. These individuals struggle with this. You don't have to live like that. You don't have to struggle. These are something that is very valuable, in my opinion, to solve some of these problems. So the ability to tie your shoe again, to most people are like, that's not a big deal, but bullshit. You put your shoes on every single day. What's that worth to you, to not have to struggle, not have to hold your breath, not have to feel like you're there's something wrong with you every time you get dressed, every time you try and put your shoes on, put your socks on, not have to get some like special tools to put your clothes on because you can't actually reach your toes. Diabetics, if you can't see certain parts of your body, You can't feel your feet a lot of times with diabetics. You can't take care of yourself properly. It leads to breakdown of the body and more medical problems down the road. So this is, again, it's a very serious problem here, and I don't want to underscore this and let people believe that it's not that big of a deal. Mobility is a huge issue. Particularly as you get older. I mean, older individuals struggle, even thin individuals will struggle with mobility. So, carrying this more weight, it reduces your own potential. It reduces the possibility for you to move in certain ways, to bend in certain ways, and so being able to take this weight off, this fat that has been restricting you, it's life changing. It makes a huge dramatic change for you, and you know most people, they don't realize how big of a deal liposuction will make in their life until they actually get it. So I'm here to tell you how big of a difference it makes, because you don't have to spend the money to then start getting excited about this. This is something that is possible for you. If you felt um, you were restricted in life, you just weren't meant to be a certain way, that you weren't meant to be mobile, that you weren't meant to be attractive, or you weren't meant to feel good about yourself. That is bullshit that you're telling yourself. All that's crap. Don't believe it. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe even yourself that you're telling yourself these things. It is possible to be better. All right, I'm going to try and read through. You guys, if you've been asking questions, I apologize. I've been going off on my little rant here. Okay. All right. Do you need to stay in a recovery house? Shante Self. No, there is no need for a recovery house. Our procedure is done under local anesthetic, which means you're awake the whole time. We only numb the local area. I mean, this is really this amazing procedure that you can come in and get large volumes of fat sucked off your body while you're awake and talking on your phone, texting, going live. I mean, like, it's amazing what's possible. These procedures are done while you're awake. We can remove large volumes of fat. These kind of results while you're awake. The fat can be taken off of you, and then you get up and walk out after the procedure. I'm telling you, it's freaking amazing. It's amazing that you can come in to our office and have 10, 15 pounds of fat sucked off your body in a matter of an hour or two and look like this. Look like this. It's incredible. All right, let's see. Let's see. Someone's saying they're 180, they need lipo. Save. Look, people, if you want something, you'll figure out how to get it. I can tell you, those of you that say you don't have money, I can tell you a few stories here. So these are like people that want what they want, they figure out how to get it. I had this patient years back that she saved for 10 years to get liposuction, and here's the crazy thing, she didn't even have a job. She would go to the grocery store every day and spend all day helping people take their groceries out to their car and putting their groceries in the car, and she worked only on tips. Yeah, no job. She worked on tips, going to the grocery store. I mean, that's creativity at its best. She wasn't a bum or a homeless person. She figured out a way to make money, and she got what she wanted. So all of you that have jobs, do make money, a consistent income, and tell me that you don't have money to do what you want, it's money management. You have to save. You have to be able to forego pleasure today so you can have what you want tomorrow. There are options, though, if you have good credit or not so good credit. You can get financing. For those individuals that you make money, you have crappy credit, you can't get any credit, but maybe you have a hard time saving. We will help you people. We do it's kind of like a layaway plan where we will take payment from you, or a monthly payment, and we'll hold that money for you until you've paid in full. Then when you paid in full, we can go ahead and move forward with the procedure. So this is essentially like a savings plan that's forcing you to save the money, to get what you want, obviously. So that's something of interest. So if you're really interested, I mean, like, stop telling me you don't have money. Like, I don't believe this. I don't believe it. The money's out there. There's ways to get stuff. There's ways to do things. If you want money, there's ways to. I mean, you can have a side hustle and figure out ways to make more money. There's so many ways. And look, I'm a businessman, so if you want to figure out how to make money, we can make some money. There's definitely ways. You guys want to start talking business? We can talk business strategies and how to make money here. I can spend all day talking about that. So if money's your issue, let's talk more about money. How to start business, how to make income, how to have a side hustle. Let's see. What do you suggest about extra skin from the huge weight loss? Without seeing you in person, or pictures of you, Shauna, I don't know exactly what you're talking about. However, when I have seen individuals that have large weight loss, large swings in their weight, they do tend to have substantial loose skin before they come to see me. And then when they come to see me, we take the fat out, but they have that loose skin already. And when you have that loose hanging skin already and not a lot of fat, you tend to have loose skin after liposuction. So with that said, I believe that those same individuals, if you would have not lost the weight, it probably would have tightened up with liposuction alone. So maybe not losing the weight initially might be a good idea. So those individuals that have already lost the weight, you tend to get loose skin. And this is like, think about, I use this analogy all the time. Think of like a water balloon. The same thing. It's like when you fill up a water balloon, it'll stretch out, and when it's stretched out, when it's full of water, it's nice and tight. And so are you. The same thing. When you get larger, you have all that fat. It's stretching your skin. The skin is tight at that point. But when you lose that weight, you stretched out that skin, and the volume just gets smaller. The skin there's not that natural, there's no stimulation of skin tightening when you lose weight naturally like that. Your skin just, it ends up being loose. In contrast with liposuction, when we take the fat out, and you can see from this individual right here, this is a larger individual that the skin tightened up quite nicely. So you're right wondering, like, where does the skin go? Well, just like that water balloon, when you remove the volume, it always contracts back. It always contracts back. And the question is just how much? What's your potential? What's your body's ability? And everyone's different. We have some individuals that, you can get these amazing results where the skin tightens up exceedingly well, and then some individuals it doesn't. Now, it's not anything necessarily that I do different. My job is not to make the skin tighten up. My job is to get the fat out. Now, from my experience, getting the fat out, it causes the body to heal and tighten, and it works really well. Now, those individuals that have concerns with loose skin, we use a smart lipo laser, and the laser has been shown through studies it stimulates collagen growth, which can lead to 57% more skin tightening than using liposuction alone. So if you have loose skin, or you're larger and we're going to be taking a larger volume, the use of the laser, the smart lipo laser, is going to get you substantially more skin tightening than not using the laser. With that said, everybody, you still have your potential. Your body still has the potential to heal. Some people have a greater potential than others. So, seeing perhaps if you see someone else that their skin didn't tighten up, that doesn't mean that your skin won't tighten up. That just means that their skin didn't tighten up. You see a person that maybe they didn't get the results that they wanted from liposuction. That doesn't mean that you won't get the results. That just means that they didn't get the results. You see that some person gets amazing results. That doesn't mean that you're going to get those results. So you have to realize that, you know, when you see these pictures, you have to take it with a grain of salt. It just because it happens for one individual does not mean it's going to happen for another individual. So my job is just to do the best that I can to get as much fat out as possible to give you the best potential results. But each individual has a different potential. See, how long does it heal after liposuction? So the healing process, so the changes that your body will be making to heal the trauma that we cause from removal of fat, the whole healing process takes about a year. With that said, you'll see results immediately. So like that, the fat's gone. It's immediately you're going to be smaller. Just like that, you're going to be smaller. However, your body's natural response now, we cause trauma, we break up the fat, it causes trauma to the body. That trauma, your body's natural response is going to be to swell up, and also you're going to get bruising, you're going to get drainage of fluid. I mean, all these things are normal after the procedure. So as the healing process will take up to a year, but the results, you'll see them visually, you'll see them very quickly. Once that swelling goes down, now the initial swelling, it'll take about anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks for the initial swelling to go down. Then you'll have this residual swelling that will stick around for potentially months after the procedure. But eventually everything will keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and you'll see the final results are about a year out. But again, you will see the results early on. So, you know, immediately you're going to be smaller. You'll see the results immediately, but the final results will be just down the road after all the swelling goes away, all the bruising goes away. So those just take a little bit more time. Let's see. So if you guys aren't aware, we do offer free consultations. The consultations can be done here in person if you live here locally. However, about 70% of our patients are flying in from out of state. So we try to make it really easy, and you can get your consultation over the phone with the use of pictures. So we do make it as easy as possible. Let's see. So Brittany, you're saying that you have been wanting a liposuction and a full tummy tuck for a while, but you're trying to save money for the big surgery. So if you haven't followed me, Brittany, in the past, you'll see that we do larger individuals like this one right here that you're watching, that the belly's hanging over, and by all means, every single plastic surgeon that they went to, they were told that they needed a tummy tuck. However, you can see that fold has gone away and there's no tummy tuck. So my question to you is, do you really need a tummy tuck? Or were you just told that you needed one? Because every plastic surgeon, that's their rule book. You come in with a belly, doesn't matter how big it is, doesn't matter whether you have loose skin or you don't have loose skin, doesn't matter. Their rule book says you need a tummy tuck. So they tell every single patient that. And if you've been to a plastic surgeon, I'm sure you're going to start posting here any second now saying that's what they told you. Because it's the same playbook that every single plastic surgeon across the country, the same playbook. They tell you the same thing. They were taught this in school, and that's the only thing they know. They don't know any better. That's the reason they're not going to tell you that these results are possible with liposuction. They don't know any better. They never tried it. The liposuction that they do, they only do on people that are within their ideal weight. Well, that's bullshit. And you're going to have to start saying that to them. That's bullshit. Because it is possible. It is possible with just liposuction. You don't have to get a tummy tuck. You don't have to do that. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to. It's possible for you to be thinner. It's possible for you to meet your goals with just liposuction. Do you guys see any questions?
How long is the waiting list for appointments?
The wait for appointments, this is all I do is liposuction. I'm fast at it. I'm very good at it. Our wait at the longest will be 2 or 3 weeks. If it ever gets beyond that, I'll open up additional days. We'll do more liposuction. I hate making people wait. So I don't want to make you wait. As far as consultations, that should be fairly quickly. We are an efficient organization, um, and we do lots and lots of liposuction. So uh, we can help you, and we're going to do it quickly. Okay. Um, Jennifer, she says that she went back to work after 3 days and felt 100% after 6 to 8 weeks. So as far as the people we're talking about recovery, this was Jennifer's experience. She says that she was back to work within 3 days, and that's very common. Our statistics actually show about 87% of patients are able to get back to work within 3 days. There's upwards of 60% of people are getting back to work the next day. So that's definitely possible too. So thank you, Jennifer.
What is the limit? I'm sorry, what is the limited fat you can take out?
Question is, what is the limit of fat that we can take out? The standard in the industry is, they say, no more than 5 liters in one sitting. But from my perspective, the limitation is more so the amount of numbing medication that we can use. And the numbing medication is the lidocaine. Lidocaine becomes toxic at certain levels. So just like any other medication that you take, it'll become toxic if you take too much of it. So lidocaine, there's a calculation. It's calculated based off of your weight. So we determine how much of the lidocaine that we can use per procedure. And then I try to estimate how much I would need for your procedure. So our general rule, we say that no more than 6 areas of liposuction is reasonable. With that said, some individuals are going to limit you to 4 or 5 areas, and other individuals we might be able to do 6 or 7 areas. So I'm flexible. However, safety is the number one concern. This is a cosmetic procedure, so there's no reason to take major risks for your health.
For fat transfer, is it broken down into costs?
For the fat transfer, the question is, for the fat transfers are broken down into 2 costs. So all of our services are broken down to essentially like an a la carte. So fat transfer is one service. We charge $2,000 for that process. That's just for transferring the fat. So we got to get the fat too. That's another process. That's the liposuction. So liposuction, we charge $12.99 per area. So the liposuction is $12.99 per area, and then the fat transfer is $2,000. Typically, at minimum, I'm going to recommend treating 2 areas of liposuction so that we have enough fat for the fat transfer. However, some individuals we need to treat more than that. So it's a general rule of thumb. Let's see, someone's talking about pregnancy. They're saying, Heidi was saying that people think that she's pregnant. Well, we can fix that problem. That's easy. Just take the fat away. So here's the funny thing is that I know that you women, especially when you get that bulge in that belly, people asking you if you're pregnant, like this individual here, it's just, that's embarrassing, right? And that's something that we can solve that problem just like that. It's gone. That issue is gone immediately. And it's easy. This is not that difficult. But when I was in school, they told us, I did OBGYN as part of my training, and they said never. Even on the OBGYN rotation, never ask a woman how far along she is. Never ask her if she's pregnant. Never, ever, ever. So you always, you allow them to tell you, or you actually test for it. You have to test because You don't ask people that, women in particular, because it's embarrassing, and I mean it's embarrassing for the person that's asking as well. When the person says no, I'm not pregnant, I mean, like, well, now you feel like a total asshole because you basically just called that person fat. So that sucks, and I get that, and I'm totally empathetic with that situation. And if you are the type of person that, or not the type of person, if you were the person that they're asking if you're pregnant, I know you hate it, and if you hate it, like I know you do, sign up for your consultation because we can take care of that. That's easy. The other thing, a real easy thing that people live with is the chin liposuction. So if you have this big chin that's hanging down, where your face goes into your neck, you have no jawline. Those people that you avoid taking pictures, you avoid turning sideways, you avoid anything that where you're going to be seen. Perhaps you're a salesperson, you're embarrassed just to get in front of people because of your double chin. That is so easy to fix. It's so easy. And it takes like less than a half hour, and you can have it done on your lunchtime, and go back to work the same day. I mean, it's so easy to fix. You don't have to live with a double chin anymore. It's not necessary. There's a lot of things that people live with now that it's not necessary. You don't have to live like that. There's options. We have technology. It's amazing what's possible now. You don't have to live with the restrictions that you have in your life. Melinda, you're saying you got a consultation 2 years ago. You should get an updated one. Our prices have changed. Welcome, Linda Shelton. She's one of our regulars. Okay. There's a question here. Marie Mendez. She says she has a problem with her stomach. She says, how much are the liposuction costs on a skinny person? I really want to do this. So I don't charge differently for skinny or fat individuals. We charge per area. So it just depends on the surface area that you need covered, and where you need liposuction. So now here's the funny thing. Skinny individuals say, well, I'm skinnier. It's going to be easier to suck the fat out of me, so it should be cheaper. That's not true. It's not true. And this is even the irony, and the real funny part about this is that plastic surgeons believe the same thing. They believe that larger individuals, it's harder to get the fat off, so they charge them more. That's why they do this whole BMI thing where they're charging more when you're heavier. But that's not true. And I've done probably 20,000 procedures, so I'm speaking from experience here. Smaller individuals, it is more difficult to get the fat off smaller individuals, and here's the reason why. This is my theory as to why it's more difficult. Smaller individuals, we all have connective tissue that holds the fat together. And the fat cell, when we get bigger, the fat cell expands out, and when we get smaller, the fat cell shrinks. Smaller individuals have smaller fat cells and more connective tissue. The connective tissue itself holds everything together. It's difficult to break through connective tissue, especially when there's abundance of it. So when there's a smaller individual, you have more connective tissue, less fat. It's more difficult to get the fat out because you're breaking through the connective tissue, so it's more challenging. So on smaller individuals, I actually work harder than on larger individuals. Larger individuals, you put the cannula in and the thing sucks out. It's like a spigot. It just comes out a lot easier. So even though I'm taking out larger volumes off of larger individuals, it actually comes out easier. And for like pure force, I actually have to use less force on a larger individual to get the fat out. Now that's not always the case, but from my experience, that's in general what I've found. So this argument that smaller individuals is easier to do, so they should be charged less, that doesn't hold any water at all. So I'm sorry, don't make that argument with me. Smaller individuals, it is less technically because we are covering a smaller surface area on you, so you wouldn't have to treat as many areas. So For any pricing stuff, any cost things, how many areas you need, what areas are best to be treated for you, all those are questions that are answered in your free consultation. So please sign up for your free consultation and get that set up. Let's see. Jill says, "Does being overweight affect high blood pressure?" Yes, absolutely it does. And with said, liposuction, removing large volumes of fat, reduces your blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure now and you're taking blood pressure medication, getting liposuction, it's possible. I'm not saying it will. It's possible that it may reduce the need for the blood pressure medication altogether. So that'd be kind of cool. Another issue that larger individuals have that I've heard many times of benefits that happen actually immediately after the procedure is they, because of the volume of the fat, it puts pressure on their lungs. And not only that, it inhibits the diaphragm from expanding out completely. So these individuals it's challenging to take a deep breath because of the mass, because of the volume of the fat in their abdominal region. So to reduce the volume of the fat, these individuals will step off the table from liposuction and immediately be able to breathe better. And this is a very noticeable change for many individuals. Those individuals that have sleep apnea, they've noticed a huge dramatic change in reducing the resistance that the fat causes on their breathing. So breathing issues is a big difference. And the funny thing is most larger individuals don't even realize that they're restricted because they live with it every single day. They're restricted every single day, so to them it feels normal. So when you get the fat removed off you, this is usually one of those secret benefits. Those like, wow, I can actually breathe and take a deep breath. It's not as difficult anymore. I can go up and down stairs and not be out of breath anymore. I mean, it's the little things, the little benefits that you're going to notice after liposuction that you just weren't thinking about. You were thinking, I'm going to be skinny. I'm going to get an hourglass figure. I'm going to get rid of that belly. That was your main focus. That was your top priority, and you're willing to spend thousands of dollars to get that taken care of. But you don't realize the real benefits are it makes you feel better. You're able to breathe better. You have lower blood pressure, so maybe you're going to live longer. You reduce your risks for diabetes. Maybe you reduce your need for diabetes medication. These are all things that are possible. And so these are things that what's the value at that? If you don't die from diabetes at a young age, what's the value of that? Is it worth it to spend an extra 15 grand, 20 grand? Is it worth to spend $100,000 to live longer? What's it worth it to you? I mean, you need to make these choices. Look, my prices for liposuction are very reasonable in comparison over the nation. The national average for liposuction is extremely expensive, and I hear this every single day from patients, every single day. So you can't afford this, and it is a reasonable rate in comparison to what other people are charging. Look, it's a business. We do need to make money. We do have costs. I have employees. We have equipment that we use. We have utilities. We have advertising. There's lots of costs that go in. They're involved in providing services like liposuction. So you can't expect this stuff for free. Even though we offer free liposuction contests, we can give it away for free to some individuals. The truth is that we're giving it away to them, but it's helping us promote, so we get many other paying customers. So the paying customers are what allows us to give stuff away for free. So I know that the value of this liposuction, I know that it far outweighs the actual cost. So if you're considering liposuction, if you're considering and you're thinking that you see these pictures and this looks amazing and that would be so cool if you could have results like this, if your belly could be smaller, if you could reduce your risk factors for diabetes, if you could be more mobile, if you could improve your hygiene just by getting liposuction, if you could fit into clothes better, it's worth it. It's worth it. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter what I charge. It's worth it. Because at the end of the day, you can't take that money with you. And so you're here. You might as well enjoy yourself. You might as well be happy with yourself. You might as well be comfortable with yourself. It's worth it. It's totally worth it. Thousands of dollars. Yes, it's worth it. Why do you think people spend so much money on these procedures? Why? Because it's worth it. It's that simple. If you want this, you want the results, you have to take the risk. You have to go through the discomfort, the uncomfortable situations, the discomfort from the procedure, the travel expenses, whatever it takes. It's worth it. That's why people do it. It's worth it. And the results are phenomenal. Get your free consultations. Jennifer says, I had a big pannus. So pannus is the part of the belly where it's hanging over, and it's totally gone. She says, I still do a double take in the mirror. The biggest thing for me is that I still have phantom fear when my husband puts his arms around me. The fat is gone. I have to remind myself of that. One day it will totally sink in. So, Jennifer, that's it's funny how you just the word that you use, the phantom. I mean, it's almost as if they say that people that lose limbs, like military, they get phantom sensation that limb still exists. So the fact that your belly is gone and you still have this phantom feeling and sensation as if it's there, I think you already know the answer. That this is an issue that's exclusively in your mind. It's just how you see it. And so your fear doesn't have to do with the belly. Your fear has to do with the way that you feel about yourself. And so when your husband comes up from behind you, that triggers these emotions that you've had for a long time. And so just taking the fat away doesn't take those triggers away, those emotions, and those are ingrained in you, and you've felt that way for probably decades. So it's a change in your thought process. It's a change in the way that you see yourself. And you're right, it takes time. It takes time for it to sink in, for you to realize that this is the new you. And I know from experience, I've had liposuction too, and I know the things that I was embarrassed about. It takes time. Like the first time you take off your shirt by the pool, just for me, the first time that I went to take off my shirt by the pool, it was like I felt like I should be embarrassed, and because I had been embarrassed for years, and I felt like I should be embarrassed, but yet I didn't have a reason to. Um, my fears, the insecurities that I had, they didn't exist anymore. So it takes time for you to get used to that you don't have to be scared anymore. Individuals that have the big chin, it's the same thing. You've been programmed. You've developed these habits to act a certain way, to avoid the cameras, to avoid seeing people, to avoid you. People practice avoidance all the time. And Jennifer, you may have avoided intimacy with your husband just because of your fear and your embarrassment. And that's the benefit. That's the benefit. For you to be able to get over that, that's the benefit. And so while you're not quite there yet, the first step is getting rid of that fat. The perception that you believed that was the problem. And so now you got to realize that it's really in your mind. And the truth is, it was always in your mind. But for many individuals, they have to have that realization. They have to see it to believe it. That you are sexy, you are beautiful, and you don't have to be skinny to do that. But if it takes you getting skinny to believe that, then that's one of the benefits. Okay. Jill Picken, yes. So liposuction should help lower your blood pressure. So now this is something that I don't know if I've seen studies on it, but I'm speaking from experience. I've had many individuals that have told me that their blood pressure is lowered. I honestly, I don't know if I've seen any studies on it, but it makes sense if you think about it. Um, Fat cells, an individual cell, every cell in our body requires a blood supply. So when you're larger, you have all these tiny, tiny little blood vessels, and we're talking like miles of blood vessels, tons and tons of blood vessels to help feed those fat cells. When we remove the fat cells, it eliminates the need for all those blood vessels. Just wipes them out. No reason. You don't need them anymore. Now, blood pressure, the way blood pressure works is we're pumping blood through these blood vessels. And when you have more blood vessels, especially the tiny ones, when you have more blood vessels, you're pumping blood through, it's that pressure that backs up into the heart, that pressure that leads to high blood pressure. So removing all of that fat reduces the need for all those blood vessels. It makes sense. It should lower your blood pressure. It should. It makes sense. It's logical. Okay? But unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of studies on liposuction because, if they did studies that showed that it had health benefits, then insurance companies might have to actually pay for it. So they don't want that. So maybe one of these days I'll team up with a research company and we'll do some studies to prove the health benefits of liposuction. So technically, I can't make claims that it benefits, like it benefits diabetes, like it benefits blood pressure, like it benefits COPD or breathing issues. I can't make claims that it does that. Even though it does, I can't make claims. So that's why you're not going to see any advertisements that claim these type of things because FDA doesn't want us to do that. And the FDA, that's the Federal Drug Administration. You might think that they're trying to help you, but the FDA is just protecting drug companies. So they make all their rules to protect drug companies and they limit what we're allowed to tell people. So even though these amazing results, even though we get them, we're not actually able to tell people that these are consistent results. It's just kind of funny. We're not able to tell people that, many of our patients reduce their blood pressure medication, that they reduce their diabetes medication. We're not able to tell people that, at least not through advertisements. They won't allow us to. So we'll do it live, and the information will disappear. Let's see. What's up, Michelle Bedwell? Let's see. There's people asking about age. Age is not, there's no restriction on age. It's more your health. So, we've had patients that are in their mid 80s. I have this one patient, if you go look on YouTube, we have a video of her where I think she's like 82 or 83. She had liposuction, 3 separate procedures here at My Shape Lipo, and not only that, she drove herself home. This is like 80-year-old. Drove herself home after 3 separate procedures. So you women or men that are in your 50s trying to claim that you're too old for liposuction, come on, get over it. And the funny thing is I have all the time that patients come in and they're like in their 50s, they're like, oh, I'm your oldest patient. Get over yourself. The age is just a number. It's just a number. If you're healthy and you're going to live another 10, 15, 20 years, Feel good about yourself. Get the liposuction. Get the procedure. There's no age is just a number. Stop it. Stop allowing people to tell you that just because you're a certain age you can't do things. Like, I'm too old for that. That's bullshit. That's stuff that our parents told us. You're not too old for anything unless you allow yourself to deteriorate. You don't have to get old. It's not like it used to be. It's not, you don't have to get old. You allow yourself to get old. So I'm sure you can go do your research. There's people that are in their 50s that look like they're in their 20s, that act like they're in their 20s, that are healthy like they're in their 20s. Live a better life. You want to live longer? Eat better. You want to live longer? Take care of yourself. Exercise. I mean, there's no secrets here. You want to have a better body, you want to feel better about yourself, there's no secrets here. Everybody knows how to do it. Live a better life. Eat healthier. Exercise. That's it. But what happens to you individuals that have neglected yourself for 15, 20, 30 years? You gained substantial amounts of weight. You've allowed your health to get away from you. What about these individuals? You've tried diet, you've tried exercise, but you know what? Once you allowed yourself to get so far off of that mean, that center point, that where you should be, once you've gone so far off to the side, it's just not easy to get back. It's extremely difficult, and the further away you get from being in shape, the more difficult it is to get back into shape. So, you know, the individual that's 300 pounds, yes, diet and exercise absolutely will solve your problem. Absolutely, 100% guaranteed if you did it right and you did it consistently. But it might take 2 or 3 years, maybe longer, maybe sooner. But it's a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of hard work, a lot of discipline. So the individual that allowed themselves to get out of shape, it's because you lacked the discipline, you lacked the hard work, you lacked the diet, you lacked the exercise. So can we expect you to all of a sudden just start doing everything that you needed to do to get in shape and to have the body and look and feel and be healthy? Should we expect that? You know, in fact, that's what plastic surgeons say. Well, lose all this weight and you need to be your ideal weight. Yeah, all right. That's bullshit. Because I know that you've tried. I know that you tried losing weight. I know that you've tried dieting. I know that you've tried exercise. I know that you believe that you've put forth all the effort necessary to lose weight, but you're unable to do that. And if this is you, then liposuction is a great option. Many of my patients use this as, they call it their jumping off point, their kickstart. Diet and exercise are absolutely necessary. You may be doing diet and exercise right now, just not getting the results that you want. So liposuction will get those results. Like physically, we can just take the fat out. Boom, it's gone, just like that. Now, you have a smaller belly, or smaller thighs, or no more chin, or smaller arms, whatever it is for you. You've solved that problem. The thing that you thought was your problem area, it's gone. Now you live. Now you start getting discipline. And now the cool thing is that once you see results, once you see like damn, I went from my belly's hanging over to I have an hourglass figure and I'm sexy now. Now I'm gonna work out because now I feel good about myself. People are looking at me. This is exciting. So that's what it's all about. That's what it's feeling better. It's getting that motivation, because like when you're overweight and you feel like crap, you have no energy, like telling you that you have to run 5 miles a day and eat, you know, like carrots and bird food. I mean, like this is the way you're thinking, right? Telling you that you have to do this stuff and you have to do this for 3 years and you're gonna, and you know, and you have to stop all the things that you've been doing in the past. That sounds overwhelming. Sounds impossible. But what about if we could just suck the fat out and get you on to where you're looking better and you're motivated, you're excited? What if? Would your life be different? Would you want to work harder? Would you be able to do it? Would you feel better about yourself? Would you be healthier? All right. Let's see. Someone says, "What do you feel about liposculpting?" It's the same thing as liposuction. It's just a different term. Um, any removal of fat, so liposculpting, liposculpture, liposuction, it's all the same. It's all removal of fat. Now, and there's different instrumentation that don't get caught up on that. Look, people that experts like myself that we remove fat. If I'm good, I can use any instrumentation, any technique. I'm good at the technique that I've developed, but the truth is that I'm good at what I do. I'm good at removing fat. I understand the concepts. Understand the philosophy of removing fat, and I can get good results with any techniques, any type of instrumentation. So, um, you know, don't choose your path based off of instrumentation. Um, don't do that because that doesn't make sense. You want to choose the person, the individual, and it's experience based. Being good at liposuction you have to have experience. You have to have done and performed this procedure thousands of times, and not only that, you should have results. Um, here's the crazy thing is I've done thousands and thousands of procedures. It's really hard to get people to send you pictures, especially those from out of state. So you have to do like 1,000 procedures to get maybe 10 before and afters. So it's pretty crazy. So the fact that we have so many before and afters should be an indication that we treat so many people. When you go see other individuals when they have crappy before and after photos, it's because that they're taking whatever they can get. So when they have crappy before and afters, it's because they simply they don't do enough procedures to get good results, and they don't do enough procedures to get enough people giving them the results. So it's a matter of doing more. You just got to do more. Insurance at this point does not cover liposuction. Financing is available though. Lisa, Renee, we do not do skin removal or tummy tuck. The majority of my patients are trying to avoid a tummy tuck. We don't do any lifts, Lisa. So no cutting of the skin, which is strictly fat removal. So clearly you've been told by a plastic surgeon that you need lifts. I'm going to venture to say that they were wrong, and I would suggest that you get a consultation with us to get our opinion. Not only that, go look at our pictures. Go see what's possible for someone like you, because we have so many before and after photos. I'm sure you can find someone that looks similar to you, that might give you an idea of what's possible. If it's possible for someone else, and it theoretically is possible for you as well. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, there's a couple other people here asking about pricing. Again, the pricing, get the consultation. I can't speak to you as an individual because, we're live and haven't seen pictures of you. But cost-wise, this is going to depend on how many areas you need, what areas you need treated for the results that you're looking for. If you have a lot that you want treated, obviously things are going to be more expensive. We can work within a budget. I'm very flexible. So if you have less money, there's some individuals that will do kind of like a staged process. So they will do one procedure now, then come back and do another procedure later when they've saved up some money. Okay, I'm gonna end this thing in just a moment here, so I'll take another question or two. Okay. Yeah, there's someone saying here that they were told by 4 different plastic surgeons that they need a tummy tuck. One person said they were quoted $20,000, but they had to lose 50 pounds first. That's bullshit. Yeah, it's crazy. Look, if you guys are going to, I mean, I'm not saying don't go check out other places. You can go check out other places. I mean, look, here's the thing that I found. There is no competition when you are the best, hands down. There's no one, there's no one in this industry that has done as many procedures as me. And in my opinion, there's not a single individual that can even come close to competing with me. It's not possible. I've done way too many procedures, way too many procedures. And if you go do your own research, you'll realize that there's there's only a handful of places in the country that only do liposuction, only a handful. And among those individuals, I trained almost all of them. Almost all of them. I've trained them. This whole model of starting a business with only doing liposuction, I wasn't the one that invented it, but my mentor was. And so they taught me, and then when they got out of the business, I started my business, and then I taught a bunch of other people, and there's other businesses that sprouted up across the country. But there's no one that can compete with me because I've just done too many. It's just, you learn from experience. You learn from making mistakes. So you have to make a bunch of mistakes in order to learn and make sure that you don't make those mistakes again in the future. So that's how you get consistent results. But you have to do, it's a volume. You have to do the volume. So individuals that you go to, you can go to any plastic surgeon, guaranteed. There's no way plastic surgeons can't compete because plastic surgeons do everything else. So liposuction is just one aspect of their practice, which means that, in a month period of time, they may do like only 2 or 3 liposuction procedures in addition to their boob jobs, facelifts, tummy tucks, and all the other crap that they do. So 2 or 3 liposuction procedures a month, I do that in a day. I do 4 or 5 procedures in a day. So how can you compete with an individual that's doing this, more work in a day than you do in a whole month? So that means in 1 month, I do more work than they do an entire year. In fact, in 1 month, I probably do more liposuction than most plastic surgeons do in 5 years. And just sit back and grasp that for a second. How would it be possible for anybody to compete with an individual who does 12 times, 15 times the practice? It's just not possible. And I mean, like, these plastic surgeons like, well, I got a degree from wherever, I'm board certified, I got this, who cares? I got trophies too that were like just for participation crap. We're not little kids. The piece of paper makes nothing. It makes no difference. Your degree, where you graduate from, who cares? Show me the results. Show me the experience. Show me how you're gonna make a difference. Show me how you're not gonna make mistakes. That's what I wanna see. That's what's gonna make you valuable. And now, not only have I done that, but now I'm offering it at a substantial price reduction in comparison to all these other plastic surgeons that are gonna charge you an arm and a leg. So we're trying to make this affordable for most people. I wanna make this, it's so easy for me, and I wanna help as many people as possible. So we're trying to make this affordable. We're trying to make it easy for people. Those people that are coming from out of state, we're trying to make this simple, trying to make it easy. All right, I'm starting to lose my voice here. You guys see anything else that's needs to be addressed? Okay. Yeah, I know we get a lot of. It's probably because I don't answer them quick enough. people rewrite the same questions. I mean, it's funny because on a daily basis, I'm getting people that say that they went to other plastic surgeons and, they give me, they tell me how affordable my rates are in comparison. I mean, a simple thing, like I'll just tell you one example. Just on last week, I had a patient that told me that they went to, where was it? Wisconsin. It was in Wisconsin, and they got quoted for liposuction of the abdomen and the waist. So for us, it was considered 4 areas, and I want to say they got smart lipo as well. So maybe it was somewhere in the range of about $6,000. They said that they were quoted $15,000, and it didn't include smart lipo, and it only included the front of the belly. So no love handles and hips. So they got more done for about a quarter of the price. More done for about a quarter of the price. So if you want to get results, big dramatic results, you got to take more fat off. That's how you do it. So you need to get more treated. You need to go to someone who has the experience, not only to get those larger volumes off, but you also have to cover the surface area. So for that individual, if they would have only had the front of their belly treated, you wouldn't get the hourglass figure. I mean, that's just the way it is. You would get a smaller front of your belly, but no hourglass figure. So, when you're trying to, I guess, perceive cost here, and I know some individuals say it's so expensive, but go do your research. Go talk to other doctors. Talk to doctors that are local to you. I mean, local doctors always charge an arm and a leg. And the funny thing is like these small town doctors, they charge a ridiculous amount, but yet they have no experience. They get crappy results, and so you're gonna pay their obscene fees and then have to go get it done again. You're gonna have to come to me to fix it. So don't let that be you. Come to the best right from the beginning. All right, so I'm gonna end this live. I appreciate all of you for jumping on here with me. And again, if you're ready to take this to the next level for yourself, the next step is getting your free consultation. Check out our website, myshapelipo.com. You can check out pictures there as well. You can give us a call at 702-818-5476. If you missed that, check out our website or just go search liposuction. You'll find us online. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube as well as Instagram to keep up in the latest for all of our videos and content. So thank you again, and I will be back probably later this week talking to you guys. All right, have a great day.